In the next few minutes, I want to explain to you exactly how WeatherWise is changing the game for climate resilience by combining a meteorologist, a climatologist, a data scientist, a schedule analyst, and a global set of weather data together into a system enhanced by AI. So EHAB is the leading platform for construction weather risk management. We already have 200 projects across North America and Europe. We have global technology partners like Oracle. We are underwritten by A-rated global insurers and brokers as partners. Some of the largest construction companies on planet Earth use us to get WeatherWise, but we are expanding to energy, maritime, agriculture, and beyond. Now, why are we expanding from construction? Well, the world is at a crossroads. We all know that weather is getting worse, and we're really seeing that operational weather impact is becoming a huge cost to businesses in every single industry. And what's worse is those costs are not insured. They are uninsured costs. And so really what we think is happening is a breakdown of the system. If we don't sort out how we insure, sort out how we manage, transfer, allocate these risks, then things are going to get much worse. We all know that weather risk has been getting worse. It's spiking, and unfortunately that's only set to rise. So we have to change. Now, awareness is rising that this is an issue. Climate awareness is, of course, something that's been rising for a number of years now. But unfortunately, the gap between where the solutions are today, what's available, and what is needed, especially given that serious rise in weather risk, is just not there. Now, you can waste a huge amount of time and a huge amount of money trying to manage this risk alone by building your own systems, building your own spreadsheets, getting free data from online. If you wanted to build a state-of-the-art system that would be a scalable, advanced weather risk management system using current best practices, then we're estimating that it's going to cost you between $2.4 and $26 million per year to create and run this system. This is because you are going to have 24/7 experts, climatologists, data scientists, meteorologists, and depending on the size of your organization, that cost is going to rise. Of course, you then need climate and data, weather data feeding into that, and there's going to be lots of different licenses from lots of different places, alerts and communications to enable this to actually smoothly get communicated to the different parts of your business, generating climate risk reports, which can cost a huge amount of money if you pay consultants to do this, which is what everyone is doing at the moment. Of course, if you had to create your own machine learning signals and prediction models, then again, you're going to be increasing and getting a huge amount of cost through overhead and through downloading and getting information that you need to use for this. Integrating this into schedule tools, again, would cost a lot of money. Parametric insurance quotes, again, would cost a lot of money. It is a huge cost if you wanted to genuinely build a system that would help you manage your risk from a weather perspective in all of these different ways. And you're not alone. This is a problem. This is a seriously tricky problem. And probably every single company like you is thinking, how can we create this stack in some way, shape, or form that's going to be cost effective and not take a huge amount of time, because we have to implement these things now. The good news is that WeatherWise, our new platform, is combining all of these things into one scalable license, embedding insurance into this as well. It's all in one. So the first thing that we're going to be doing as you click the link below and book your first consultation is mapping your assets. You can drop pins on maps, draw squares, draw lines, upload JSONs. You can give us your data in whatever way and format you have, and it's going to instantly start mapping and modeling your weather exposure. And in 5 minutes, you will get a report that would probably take a consultant weeks to create and cost a minimum of 200 grand. We're going to then start to add more detail to this. We want to know, what are the types of assets that you have? Are they construction projects? Are they energy assets? Is it an agricultural setup? What are your assets? And we can start to then create rules that help us understand more and more detail about how you are exposed to weather. This in and of itself, this process will help you make better decisions at a strategic level much faster. The system has this incredible correlation engine. So it's all about the more data that you feed it, we can then correlate this with weather and climate data so that you can build indexes, forecasts, warnings that are incredibly specific to your business or your entity or your organization. This means that you get insights that are completely bespoke to you and your business, which is incredibly important if you want to take action on those things. We've made the pricing super simple. You pay per location. If you want, you can add more modules, which adds more complexity. As you add more locations, we then scale down the cost per location. It's that simple. The toolkit ranges from schedule analysis, which is our leading construction solution, warnings that you can set up at any location on planet Earth, an AI agent which acts as a meteorologist and a climatologist and a data scientist that you can communicate with, the ability to create trading strategies if you are in finance, if you are a trader, climate reports that are as good as anything that a consultant will be able to develop, but in minutes, and of course, insurance embedded into this process as well. So the schedule analysis tool is something that we leverage in construction. We've already got a huge number of case studies which demonstrate its accuracy, the savings that can be made, and the ability to quote parametric insurance on the data that's in this system. And it integrates with all of the different risk tools that you might use if you're a construction company. We can rapidly create a warning system that is as good as any out there. It can be hyper granular. You can choose to embed it into different types of channels, communicating with your team using email or text or other types of communication apps. We're enhancing it with AI all the time, and actually we're bringing on more and more data sets so that you can start to choose which data sets that you care about in what locations, in what ways. And it's completely customizable. Eva, the AI assistant, allows you to do lots of different things. This is an agent embedded into the platform. So not only can you just ask weather-related questions, start to structure graphs, reports, it speaks 40 languages, but you can then ask it to do things in the platform for you so that you may not even need to necessarily click buttons. You can just use Eva and rapidly start to get insights from the system in whatever way, shape or form that you wish to, if you want to do that in a natural language. The creation of interactive reports is something that's hugely beneficial. Again, you would be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for consultants to build these for you. You can structure them in minutes, and they are not static. You can embed live data, you can embed climate data, you can embed all sorts of different things. You can collect email addresses from your own organization. You can start to monitor engagement and understand how people are interacting with these. So this is critical because making resilience real involves making sure that people are engaged. And engaging people is really difficult to do unless you've got something visual, something simple, something understandable. The embedded parametric insurance tool is something that's actually used by your broker. So if you are a broker, then you can use this tool and you can start to more rapidly quote parametric insurance. And this is something that we think is going to get much, much bigger in the future. And so by enabling this to be done quicker, more effectively, then we think that we can help transfer more of this really critical risk that is currently uninsured. So if you're a broker, get in touch. Now, I really want you to imagine what WeatherWise would look like for your business. What would it be if you were actually WeatherWise? So it doesn't matter what industry you're in. We would want you to be seeing rising profits. We would want you to be having reduced downtime and improving the service quality of your business or your entity or organization. All the quality of life and the economy in your local area is growing if being used by a municipality, even in the face of worsening weather. So it's not just about treading water, it's about how can we continue to improve even when we know that things are getting worse. So I'd love it if you want to book a consultation below. This consultation will be a free session where we can start to help you onboard, take those steps, map your assets so that you can really start to understand in minutes what is your exposure, what are the things that you can do to change the way that you run your entity and your organization so that you can get WeatherWise too. Thanks so much for listening.